All right, we in there. Give it a few seconds, let everything pull up.
Okay.
All right. We in there. We about to go live on GMS Upon Precepts. Hey, shalom, shalom. All right. Hey, shalom, shalom.
Hey, shalom, shalom.
Give us a few seconds. Just get everything situated. Preacher's calling. Hey, shalom. GMS Charlotte back at you with another live camp with the Spirit of Power, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Before we get started with this lesson, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Hey, double honors to our elders and apostles, great millstone who taught us this truth. Double salutations to all you Akim out there laboring in the house of David that's pushing his word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom to you, brothers.
Shalom, shalom.
All right. Hey, we wanted to get into it, you know, get on this this devil Amalek, all right, the chief tribe of Esau. All right, you brothers have been seeing what's been going on in the news. All right, the 1948ers have been getting persecuted, man. You see that over there in Israel, they've been dropping rockets and bombs on them. You know, then also over here in the States, such as New York, LA, different places around the US, all right, the 1948ers have been getting persecuted, getting beat up on the streets, you know, and all of these things are happening because of prophecy, man.
Yep.
All right, the world is waking up, okay, who truly the wicked is. See, the world knows that these people that are parading themselves around in Israel are not the true Jews, man. All right, according to Bible prophecy. So we just want to get into that. We had a couple of precepts lined up, and Lord's will, you know, this lesson be edifying, man. All right, but before we get into the scriptures, wanted to pull this book out. I want you to pull the price up on this book too. You know, brothers had their lessons on this before. All right, this book called "Who is Esau Edom?" See? So I just want to read a quick excerpt out of this book, and then we're gonna get into some edification, man. All right? But I'm gonna let the brother pull it up. Because hey, through the Spirit of Power, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, this truth going out to the four corners of the earth. All right, everybody's waking up, and the Lord said that His knowledge will cover the earth like water covers the sea. Roughly paraphrasing, you know. So I just want to grab a, like I said, a quick excerpt out of this book, out of Who is Esau Edom. All right, and I'm gonna go to page 20 real quick. And but first, let's get the price of it though. Just curious.
Got some variant ones. There's some variant ones. It's on eBay. I'm gonna make sure it's the right one. Make sure it's real.
Right.
Let's see.
Cause the prices have gone from like $500 to a couple thousand. And here it is, about 6-7 years ago. I want to say when I bought this book, it was probably like $11, $13. You know, but now it's 500 plus to a couple thousands. All right, showing you that this word is out here, man, and they're trying to do their best to suppress this this knowledge, man. You know?
Yeah, it's varying prices. Some of them are in the thousands.
Yep.
You know, in the hundreds, and some in the thousands.
Right.
As much as $2,000.
Right. So how does a book to about $2,000, right? So how does a book go from $11 to $13 to damn near $2,000?
Yep.
Showing you, hey, that's exposure, man. All right, but I'm gonna have a brother. You just read all the way down to 22 here, and you're gonna stop where it says that is the Jews. Okay. Matter of fact, Salaki, you want to read down to there.
Okay.
So it's a little read, but we'll get the scriptures after that. You know, just wanted to bring this out. It's a good opener, you know.
This is Who is Esau Edom? Speak up a little bit. There's a little water behind it.
It's a little windy out here.
This is Who is Esau Edom, page 21. Who is Esau Edom, page 21. It says, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. Romans 9:13. This hatred by the Most High, or by God towards Esau, is an attribute that the human heart cannot accept or embrace. And therefore, many will try to explain it away. Thus, scores of theologies have avoided this truth of Scripture, or have whitewashed it into something more appealing to the heart. God not only hates Esau Edom and is against these people, but refers to them as the people of my curse. Woo. Isaiah 35:34 and verse 5.
So these scholars know, and I believe this who wrote this Bible was an Amalekite himself, if I'm not mistaken. Go ahead.
This curse is not just on Esau, but also his seed and his brethren.
Yep.
But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself.
And see, that's what's going on the earth. See, Esau can no longer hide himself. He called himself the European.
Yep.
He called himself the Spanish, the French, so-called white man. No, you are the Edomite, man.
That's right. It says, but I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren, and his neighbors, and he is no more.
That's right.
Among Esau's brethren were the Amalekites, which were descended from one of Esau's grandsons.
Yep.
It was these Edomite kinsmen who the Most High has sworn war against from generation to generation.
Which we're going to get into that. All right, so Amalek is the chief tribe of Esau. Go ahead.
Continuing on, God's hatred of Edom is not a temporary thing, but it's perpetual.
Yep.
The doctrine that God loves everyone does not stand up in light of what the Bible has to say regarding God's merciless position towards the race of people called Edom.
God.
Although the churches have tried to alter God's true nature, we find that throughout the Bible, God's position towards Esau, Edom, does not change.
It does, and the scriptures tell you that. Malachi, 3 and 6.
Yep.
I, the Lord, I change not. You see?
Continuing on, verse 22, who is Esau, Edom? Therefore, thus saith the Lord, God, the Lord power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen and against all Idumea, which we know Idumea is a Greek word for Edom, right?
That's right.
Shall I not in that day, says the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom and the understanding out of the mount of Esau?
Yep.
Thus saith the Lord power, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against you, and I will stretch out my hand against you. There is not one favorable or positive statement in the Bible in relation to Esau, Edom.
Read that again. That's now we're gonna get into this. Go ahead.
There is not one favorable or positive statement in the Bible in relation to Esau, Edom.
No favorable, nothing positive in the scriptures referring to the Edomites, man.
Yep. It tells you in the definition in the Bible dictionary, in the Zondervan, that Esau, Edom was the only nation that was not given any promise of mercy from the Most High.
That's it.
So that lines up, right?
Yep.
So this we showing you the scholars know. Continuing on. It says to help us identify who is this character is in the word today, that's in the world today. To help us answer this, we have to put ourselves into the role which Esau has been assigned in God's script. If God or the Most High hated you and your ancestors, how would you react and what would you do?
Yep.
By natural reaction, you would be against God
Yep.
and his people and try to prevent them from finding out who you are, Esau, the one God is against.
See, and that's what they've been doing all throughout history.
Yep.
As was quoted earlier in this book, you know, they tried to hide themselves, man. You see, but now we're in a time where, like it tells you in 2 Thessalonians, that the man of sin will be revealed, man. The son of perdition. You see?
Knowing that if God is against something, it says, so will his followers be.
That's right.
Who is it that tries to conceal their identity as Edom, the one hated by God?
Yep.
By claiming to be Israel, the one loved by God, only one group of people reacts as though God has a hatred for them. That is the Jews.
There you go. Finish it out.
Why do you suppose the Jews from organizations such as the Anti-Defamation League
Yep.
to monitor and combat hate and to identify hate groups?
And that's what's being pushed now through the Anti-Defamation League, man. You know? See, what they're trying to do is they're trying to get rid of anything that has to do with hate, man. Because when you go into it, you find out that all the hate goes back to them.
Yep.
You see? And that's why, as I did a lesson previously, they're going to capitalize off the persecution that's happening to these 1948ers, man. To the point where they could possibly shut this shit down. You know, they could find you, they could throw you in jail for speaking out against the so-called Jew.
Yep.
So we're in those times, man. That's why brothers' videos getting flagged. As soon as you put the name Amalek in the title of your video, the video get taken down. You know what I'm saying? Because, hey, these devils are guilty, man.
That's right. Why is it that it is predominantly Jews who promote the anti-hate laws and other hate crimes legislation.
Yeah, they're the face of that, man.
Yep.
When it comes to anything, hate groups, hate speech, they the main ones trying to push that, man.
Yep.
You know, we need to get rid of that. We need to stop this. We need to shut this down. You know, they were calling for a more forceful response.
Yep.
Meaning there needs to be more harsh penalties for speaking out against these people.
Yep. You speak about how the word anti-Semitism is used as a get out of jail free card for Esau.
Exactly.
It's a way. It's a thing he uses in order to deflect from something.
Exactly.
He uses that every time, and when that gets used, then all bets are off.
Mm-hmm.
See, if you were Esau Edom, would you not do the same? An Edomite would also want to infiltrate churches and seminaries to get God's people to believe that there is no God of hate, only a God of love and mercy. Yep. So to say that there's no God of hate, but only a God of love and mercy would be to do away with the scriptures, which we know they did that when they gave the slave Bible.
Yeah, exactly.
The slave Bible, you know, when you go into it, well, it omitted about 80% of the actual Bible, and it only left in certain chapters, you know, and only a few specific books that spoke about loving your master, etc. Anything that was favorable for them to stay in the opposition of being over the people of the Most High. Continuing on, it says the Edomite Jews of today are the main ones who are concerned about hate.
Showing you they're guilty.
Yep. And with good reason. They are desperately trying to suppress all hate, even any facts or words that could be construed as causing mental anguish. In response to their role as being the people against whom the Lord has indignation forever, the Jews have made the concept of hate a taboo.
Exactly.
The Jew, Elie Wiesel, stated on public television that even hate is dangerous. This is an example of how paranoid the Edomite Jews are regarding God's hatred of them.
See, that's heavy. Now, because you got all these jakes, you know, these celebrities, they're waking up to who they are.
Yep.
Coming back to their nationality, their heritage as being Israelites. So if that's the case, then what makes these people? If we are the true Jews of the scriptures, if we are the true Israelites, then what makes these people that say they are Jews?
Yep.
You see, so all of that's coming to light.
Yep. It says regarding God's hatred of them and the lengths they will go to eliminate from the minds of God's people this concept of hate. Yes, God hates and has indignation for the Edomite. And if any dare take God's side on this matter, they will be met with great opposition and persecution.
See, and that's what's happening to us.
Yep.
The ones that know the truth, all right, we're going to be met with opposition coming from the so-called Jew, man. You see, because hey, we were never meant to know this. We were never meant to come back. But hey, through the spirit power of Yahweh Shem Shah, this is all prophecy, man. That can't be stopped. You see? So that's why we wanted to get into that. Get the water for that read too.
Yeah.
That's why we wanted to get into that.
Yep.
Where the scriptures say that his remembrance shall perish forever, man. So we're coming in that time where hey, these devils are about to be up out of here, man. All right, and we just gonna grab some scriptures. I got so let's get into Exodus the 17th chapter. Unless you want to bring out something real quick.
Oh, I was gonna make the point. I'll bring it out sometime in the lesson. Going into the fact that how it spoke about that heavy persecution that always comes against those who speak out. So now that we have the children of Israel awakening, you know, now it makes perfect sense.
Yep.
While all of this hell is coming down on the people of the Most High for saying that they are the children of the Most High.
Exactly.
See? So it makes sense now, right? So this Exodus 17.
You can just start at the top.
Yep. The book of Exodus 17, we'll start at verse 1. Exodus 17 and verse 1, and it reads, "And all the congregation of the children of Israel journeyed from the wilderness of Sin after their journeys, according to the commandment of the Lord Yahweh Shem Shah, and pitched in Raphadim, and there was no water for the people to drink. Wherefore, the people did side with Moses and said, Give us water that we may drink. And Moses said unto them, Why chide ye with me? Wherefore do you tempt the Lord Yahweh Shem Shah? And the people thirst there for water, and the people murmured against Moses and said, Wherefore is this that thou hast brought up out of Egypt to kill us and our children and our cattle with thirst.
Yeah, so this is Jake coming out of Egypt.
Verse 4, and Moses cried unto the Lord Yahweh, saying, what shall I do unto this people? They be almost ready to stone me. And the Lord Yahweh said unto Moses, go on before the people, and take with thee of the elders of Israel, and thy rod, wherewith thou smotest the river, take in thy hand, and go. Behold, I will stand before thee there upon the rock in Horeb, and thou shalt smite the rock, and there shall come out of it that the people may drink. And Moses did so in the sight of the elders of Israel, and he called the name of the place Massah and Meribah, because of the chiding of the children of Israel, and because they tempted the Lord Yahweh, saying, is the Lord Yahweh among us or not?
Yep.
Verse 8.
The point right here.
Then came Amalek and fought with Israel in Rephidim.
Yeah, so when we came out of Egypt, we went to war with Amalek, man. Go ahead.
Verse 9, and Moses said unto Joshua, choose us out men and go out, fight with Amalek. Tomorrow I will stand on the top of the hill with the rod of the Lord, with the rod of the Most High in my hand.
Yep.
So Joshua did as Moses had said to him, and fought with Amalek. And Moses, Aaron, and Hur went up to the top of the hill. And it came to pass, when Moses held up his hand, that Israel prevailed, and when he let down his hand, Amalek prevailed.
You see, that's heavy. So here it is, they're warring with, we warring with Amalek coming out of Egypt, and it said when Moses kept his hands up, Israel prevailed, but when he dropped his hands, it said Amalek prevailed. Go ahead.
But Moses' hands were heavy.
Yeah, because they were weary, man. Go ahead.
And they took a stone and put it under him, and he sat thereon, and Aaron and Hur stayed up his hands, the one on the one side and the other on the other side.
Right. So you had to have somebody hold Moses' hands up so that Israel could prevail in that battle against Amalek, man. That's heavy.
And his hands were steady until the going down of the sun.
That's right.
And Joshua discomfited Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword.
Right, so Joshua, leading Israel at that time, they destroyed Amalek. Go ahead.
And the Lord Yahweh said unto Moses, write this for a memorial in a book, and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua.
Yep.
For I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven.
Right, and we're coming in that time, man. All right, dealing with future prophecy. The Amalek is about to be totally destroyed, man. Go ahead.
Verse 15, and Moses built an altar and called the name it Jehovah Nissi, or Yahweh, or Yahweh Nasiah, Yahweh Nasiah, Salakia. For he said, because the Lord Yahweh have sworn that the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation.
Right, so the scriptures say that we will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. And in this day and time that we're living in, all right, that war is still going on, man.
Yep.
All right, even when you go back to the time of slavery, who was the one that financed the slave trade?
Yep.
It was Amalek, man.
Yep.
Yeah, the so-called Jew. And then you have the entertainment industry, who's all ran by Amalek, Hollywood.
Yep.
Everything that's put out there, all the stereotypes, everything that's put out there against Jake, the poisoning of his food, the water, the programming of Jake, hey, that's all sponsored by Amalek, man.
Yep.
So like the scriptures say, we would have war with Amalek from generation to generation, man. And we're coming into the time where the Lord, ultimately, Yahweh Shemel Shai, is coming back to destroy the power of Amalek, man.
Yep.
You see? Now from there, you have anything? From there, go to Deuteronomy chapter 25 and read 17 through 19, just to reference that point again, man. Because hey, Amalek is about to fall, man. Started with the elites of Esau, because hey, the Rothschilds, the international banking families, Rockefellers, hey, they all Amalek, man. I did some research to find out that those so-called royal families out there in Britain, they all go back to Amalek as well.
Yep.
they're known as, they call themselves British Jews.
Yep.
And that says a lot.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? Showing you that all these Edomites and powers that are empowered, hey, they all go back to Amalek, man.
Yep. I was hearing Apostle Gabar talk about it before, that the Rockefellers is basically the American version of the Rothschilds.
See?
You know? Showing you that those families are bloodlines that they connect.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the book of Deuteronomy 25 and verse 17.
And these Amaleks know they go back to Cain too, which was also brought out, I want to say about a few months back by a brother. You know, he had did some research, found a video of basically Esau breaking all that down. They know they go back to Cain. But anyway, you got it.
That's right. Deuteronomy 25 and 17 it reads, remember what Amalek did unto thee. By the way, when ye were come forth out of Egypt.
Right, so the Lord said, remember what Amalek did when you was coming out of Egypt. Go ahead.
How he met thee by the way and smote the hindmost of thee, even all that were feeble behind thee, when thou wast faint and weary, and he feared not the Most High.
Yeah, and that's how Esau rose. You know, he attacked the weak and the feeble.
Yep. The women and children.
The women and children, the old men and women. He didn't want to deal with the men up front, man. And that's how he moves today.
Yep.
You know, with his war tactics.
Yep.
You know, he can snipe you from thousands of feet away.
Yep.
You know, he will never meet you up front.
Yep.
He try to sneak, you know, back door.
Yep.
Hey, that's the same. Hey, that's him.
Yep.
You know.
Verse 18, verse 19. Therefore it shall be when the Lord Yahweh thy power hath given thee rest from all thy enemies round about it in the land which the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai giveth thee for an inheritance to possess it, that thou shalt blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven and shall not forget it.
Yeah, to blot out. Hey, when you blot out something, that means you permanently remove it.
Yep.
All right, and that's what's getting ready to happen to the Edomite, man. All right, the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai is about to permanently remove Amalek from under heaven, man.
That's right.
All right, he's getting ready to be eradicated. All right, according to the scriptures. Yep. You know, this is his time to fall, and that's why we're seeing, as I was speaking on earlier, the turmoil that's going on in Israel right now, man. These people are being called out on a worldwide level. Matter of fact, can I get Genesis the 4th chapter? Start at verse 11, read down. Because what did he say back as Cain? He said that everyone that finds me will want to slay me, man. And that's what's going on the earth, man. People know that these people are not the true Jews, man.
Yep.
You know? That's why there's a whole campaign from what was that Christian news site. They said that Christians need to back up and speak out and try to save the so-called Jew from all this persecution. That's all bullshit, man. You know?
And you got the American government, Kamala Harris, and
exactly.
and Joe Biden recently been speaking out about all the things that's being done against the so-called Jews, and saying that they have solidarity with these people, and they're going to protect them, and they're going to continue to send them money and whatever aid they need.
Exactly.
Showing you 100% that Babylon, and these are the Edomites, you know,
yep,
coming forth for their brethren. You see?
Yep.
This is the book of Genesis 4 and verse 11, and it reads, it says, and now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand.
Right, because Cain slaughtered his brother Abel. The Lord said that he was cursed from the earth. Go ahead.
When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength.
Right, because Esau, going back to Cain, is empowered. So it said that the earth would not yield its true strength. And that's why the whole world, basically the world within itself is weak.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? The world is basically crying out, man. All right, because you have the wicked that's ruling. Yep. You know?
A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth.
Yep.
And Cain said unto the Lord Yahweh, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid. And I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth.
Yeah, a wanderer, man.
Yep.
Because hey, this devil doesn't have a true homeland, man. You know? Go ahead.
It says, and it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me.
Yeah, that's my point. It said it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me, man. And that's what's happening right now on the earth, man. Basically, the world is waking up against the so-called Jew.
Yep.
You You know, like I said, he's being called out on a global scale, man.
Yep.
These people don't fit the narrative, you know, and that's why they're doing everything they can to control the narrative, man. But see, this internet, this World Wide Web, which was used as a device or a mechanism to push forth the Lord's word, they can't control this thing, and it's getting to the point where they just got to shut it down altogether, man, because too much truth is going out, man. You see, as we read earlier, these people can no longer hide themselves, man. You see? You got something out?
Yeah, I got a few precepts. It's going into the fact that the so-called Jews are not the true Israelites.
That's right.
They call themselves Israelis. They don't call themselves the Israelites because you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you are the true Israelites of the Bible.
That's right.
So now let's get the Messiah, our Lord, when he was here, when he spoke and said,
That's right,
in the book of Revelation 2:9 and 3:9. Let's get that. It's the book of Revelations for you.
Yep.
Revelation 2:9, the words of the Messiah. And it reads, I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich.
It says thou art rich. How are we rich? Because we have the knowledge, man. All right? We have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. All right? The true money. Go ahead.
And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not.
Exactly. And this is twofold. This is talking about wicked Israelites as well, but we use this to identify the so-called Jew today that's parading himself around the earth, calling himself the Israel or the Jew, the so-called Jew. Go ahead.
And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not.
And are not, man. These people ain't the true Jews of the scriptures. Go ahead.
But are the synagogue of Satan.
But are the synagogue of Satan. That's plain, man. So my point is, I'm going to continue to reiterate in this lesson, all right, is that these devils have been identified, man. And this is how you know we're at the end of time, man.
Yep.
We are in the last days that this knowledge is going out, man. All right, as we just read in the book, who is Esau Edom?
Yep.
These scholars, they know. They always have known, man.
Yep.
You see?
I got a book here also. It's called Classical Biblical Baby Names. And in that book, it speaks about, when you read it, when you look up the word, when you go into the name of Esau, it tells you that he was a prominent figure in world history and the forefather of the Roman Empire.
Ooh, man.
Showing you there's no way around the fact of who these Amalekites and who the wicked is on earth today.
Yeah.
You see? Them and their brethren, as it said in the book.
Exactly. Even in their own Jewish encyclopedia.
Yep.
They tell you that these people that call themselves Jews actually go back to the Edomites.
Yep.
So like the scriptures say, their own mouth shall condemn their own selves, man.
Yep.
You can't make this up.
Yep. That's right.
I got a quick one real fast.
Yep, you got it.
This is Numbers 24. All right. This is Numbers chapter 24. And I'm gonna start at verse 14, and I'm gonna read down. Numbers 24, verse 14, and it reads, it says, and now, behold, I go unto my people. Come therefore, I will advertise thee what this people shall do to thy people in the latter days. All right, so this is the Moabite sorcerer. His name was Balaam, and he was actually prophesying. He was actually seeing the future and what beheld. All right, so let's read on. It says, and he took up this parable and said, Balaam, the son of Beor, have said, and the men whose eyes are open have said, he have said, which heard the words of God and knew the knowledge of the Most High, which saw the vision of the Almighty falling into a trance, but having his eyes open. So the Lord was showing him these visions of the future. Verse 17, I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a star out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab, and destroy all the children of Sheth. So, hey, Balaam, you know, he saw Israel being risen up and conquering these heathen nations. All right. It says, verse 18, and this is dealing with Yahweh Shai right here. All right. He saw Yahweh Shai come back.
Yep.
Verse 18, it says, and Edom shall be a possession, and Edom shall be a possession. Seir also shall be a possession for his enemies.
Yep.
And Israel shall do valiantly. And out of Jacob shall come he that have dominion, and he shall destroy him that remaineth of the city. Verse 20, my point. And when he looked on Amalek, he took up this parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. So this is the end of him. You see, and these devils know that, man, and that's why they're scrambling. You know, flagging brothers' videos, trying to prevent this word from going out because, hey, that knowledge is going out. And the scriptures say that this word would reach the four corners of the earth, and then the end shall come. So we are literally at the end of this thing, man. You know?
Quick precept, going into that point. Going into the wicked being revealed and how the wicked is about to be blotted out. They're about to be whited out. They're about to be whited out of history.
That's right.
Amos 9 and verse 10, and it reads, all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. So 2/3 of our people pertaining to prophecy, you know, which going into Zechariah the 13th chapter, 2/3 of our people are going to die because they're not going to accept the truth, right? So it says all the sinners, all those who refuse to repent and come back to the Lord as an Israelite, they're going to die by the sword during the time of Jacob's trouble,
right.
or ultimately when the missiles drop,
Right.
which is that second death, the lake of fire. Continuing on, verse 11, it says, in that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, which is the man that's on the four corners of the earth,
Yep.
bringing his truth out.
Yep.
It says, which is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof.
And that's what's happening right now, man. The Lord he's raising up the elect out of the northern and southern kingdom, out of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Hispanics. All right, that house of David is being raised up through the Spirit, you know?
And I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old.
There you go.
And here's the point, that they may possess the remnant of Edom and of all the heathen, which are called by thy name, saith the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, that doeth this. So Amalek, these Edomites are going into slavery.
That's it.
When you read Isaiah the 14th chapter. Hey, there's going to be slavery in the kingdom of heaven. Didn't our people, you know, pertaining to, when you go into the 83rd chapter of Psalm, didn't our people go into captivity under all the nations? So that's the righteous recompense of who you people call God, of Yahweh, that he's going to give all the nations into subjection of the nation of Israel. So it says that they may possess the remnant of Edom. So that's what's about to happen. You know, the remnant of Edom is about to be possessed. Start with the so-called Amalekites.
Yeah, and that's what they know.
Yep.
Got a precept for you. You got Isaiah 14 and 2.
Yep.
And it reads, and the people shall take them.
Yep.
And bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them.
Shall what?
Shall possess them in the land of the Lord.
That's the kingdom of heaven.
For servants and handmaids.
Yep.
And they shall take them captives.
What's a servant and a handmaid? A slave. Go ahead.
And they shall take them captives.
They should put them in slavery.
Whose captives they were.
Who was their possessors.
And they shall rule over their oppressors.
And we're going to rule over Esau, Edom, and the nations because they ruled over us. Give me Revelation 21 and 12.
Gotcha.
Because it's a thing that a lot of our people don't understand and know is what the truth of the Bible is. That's why the true men of the Lord are here. That's why they're here now. Your pastor ain't going to tell you this.
Yeah, we're making it plain upon tape.
Very plain. Now, this is why it says they're going to possess them in the kingdom of heaven. Revelation 21 and 12.
Revelation 21 verse 12, and it reads,
and this is speaking of the gates of the kingdom of heaven.
And a wall, and it had a wall, Salakia, it had a wall great and high.
So the walls of the kingdom will be great and high.
And had 12 gates.
And there's going to be 12 gates on the kingdom of heaven.
And at the gates 12 angels. And names written thereon.
And what are the names?
Which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
So none of the other nations' names are on the gates of the kingdom of heaven. And the reason why is because the nation of Israel, the kingdom of heaven was only for the nation of Israel, which is the elect of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Those that have eyes to see and ears to hear.
That's right.
That's who's going to be the first fruits of the kingdom.
That's right.
You know, the faithful few, the believers. So in the kingdom of heaven, it's only the name of the children of Israel because the remnant of the heathen is going to be possessed, meaning they're going to be slaves, servants, handmaids, etc. So that's the righteous recompense, once again, of Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
Precept.
You got it?
Amos chapter 1. The book of Amos chapter 1 verse 11, and it reads, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. But I will send fire upon Teman, which shall devour the palaces of Basra. And Basra, the modern day, America would be Basra today, which is the capital of Edom, man. So not only are these Edomites going into slavery, all right, their civilization is going to be destroyed, man. And how is that going to happen? By this World War III, these nuclear missiles, and when the chariots come on the scene, man.
That's right.
Hey, hey, this has been a real heavy year. Because in June, I think June 1st, if I'm not mistaken, they're supposed to present the declassified evidence on what these chariots, or what the world ignorantly calls UFOs, what they really are. Because the high levels of government, they know exactly who's operating these angelic vehicles in the skies, man.
That's right.
These are the angels of the Lord, man, that are visiting this place, man.
That's right.
So, hey, we curious to see what type of information is going to be presented, man. All right, because, hey, we're in a time of what? Salvation. Salvation and destruction.
That's right.
These vehicles that they call UFOs or UAPs or spaceships or whatever you want to call it, these are the chariots of our chariots of our salvation. That's right. And they're also going to bring the destruction. That's right. You see? Let me get this for you. You have something out?
Yeah, I got a quick
precept. Go ahead.
It's going into the fact that the Most High, He only chose Israel. That's why He's going to give the nations for possession. That's right. The Lord only chose Israel when you read Amos, the 3rd chapter. He said, "You only have I known of all the families of the earth." That's right. So if the Lord only knows the Israelites and said that the other nations in Isaiah the 40th chapter are less than nothing, then what does that tell you? That tells you that the Most High has prepared the kingdom of heaven, thus saith the scriptures, for only His people, for only the elect of the nation of Israel. You know, starting off with the elect. Malachi 1 and 2, and it reads, "I have loved you, saith the Lord, Yahweh, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother?" And that goes back to the book. Who is Esau, Edom? The story of Jacob and Esau. Jacob is the righteous line, the righteous people, and Esau is the wicked, who will be fighting to the end of days. All of this goes back to the birthright. You know, everything that's going on goes back to the birthright of Israel and Esau not being given that birthright. Continuing on. "Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord Yahweh? Yet I love Jacob." So the Lord loves Jacob. He chose Jacob. That's why I say to Isaiah 14, "And I will yet choose Israel." You see? Verse 3, Malachi 1 and 3, "And I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness." The point, verse 4, "Whereas Edom saith," the Edomites, they call themselves Europeans, they call themselves Caucasians, which means cave dweller. You know, they call themselves white people. "Whereas Edom saith," the Edomites, the so-called white people, "we are impoverished, but we will return and rebuild the desolate places," which was done during the time of the Renaissance. Continuing on. "Thus saith the Lord Yahweh," this is what the Most High said concerning the Edomites. "Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord Yahweh have indignation forever." So wherever the Edomites are, they are the border of wickedness. Exactly. They are the wicked. And the head of that house, once again, it started with Amalek.
And they're trying to rebuild now by bringing in what? This great reset, and ultimately what? This new world order. But the scriptures say they will build, but I will tear it down. You see?
That's right.
So hold that in Job, where it says the height of his sufficiency. Keep it there real quick. Job 20, I believe. Because we're coming to the point where this devil actually thinks that he's going to push his new world order, where the whole world is going to be governed under the spiritual demon Satan, man. But hey, right when he sets this thing up, the Lord is going to crash the party.
That's right.
You see?
This is the book of Job 20 and verse 22, and it reads, "In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits."
So at the height of his power, the scriptures say he shall be in straits. Go ahead.
"Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him." Verse 23, "When he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating."
That's it. Go ahead.
Verse 24, "He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through."
And the bow of steel shall strike him through. That's the missiles. Go ahead.
Verse 25, "It is dawn, it is drawn and cometh out of the body, yea, the glittering sword cometh out of his gall, terrors are upon him."
Terrors are upon him, man. And we're witnessing the fall of the wicked. Go ahead.
Verse 27, it says, "The heavens shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall raise up against him.
That's my point, as we were going into earlier. See, the earth is rising up against this devil, man. Because the world knows that these ain't the people. Actually, the planet Earth is waiting for the true Israel to get back into power, man.
Yep.
Because the whole earth is mourning, is crying out, man. It's time for new management, man.
That's right.
All right, it's time for Amalek to go. You see?
It says, the heavens shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him.
Yep.
Let me get it a little bit more.
Yo, that's the point,
Yep,
right?
that's the point.
No, read down, finish
Yep.
it out, finish it out.
The increase of his house shall depart, and his goods shall flow away in the day of his wrath.
How is his goods going to flow away in the day of his wrath? By the missiles, by that fire, man.
Yep.
That's going to come from the missiles and the chariots. Go ahead.
It tells you in Revelation 18 that when that happens, all the nations are going to weep and mourn.
Come on.
And howl for the fall of this devil.
Done.
Seeing Babylon being destroyed. You see? That's gonna be great misery unto the world.
Done.
Verse 29. It says, this is the portion of a wicked man from the Most High.
That's right.
And the heritage appointed unto him by the Most High.
Yeah, so this is what has been appointed unto him, man. Death and destruction. You had anything? If not, give me Isaiah 63.
Yep.
Just to stay on Amalek's ass.
Yep.
Isaiah 63 and start at verse 17. And read down to 19. That's like the end of the chapter.
Yep. Matter of fact, I did have this preset earlier.
That's beautiful.
Isaiah 63 and verse 17, and it reads, O Lord Yahweh, why hast thou made us to err from thy ways and harden our heart from thy fear?
Go ahead.
Return for thy servants' sakes the tribes of thine inheritance.
The tribes of thy inheritance. Return for thy servants' sake the tribes, the 12 tribes of thy inheritance. Go ahead.
The people of thy holiness have possessed it but a little while.
Yeah, because, you know, you had the time of Solomon where you had peace on the earth 40 years, but then, keep reading.
It says, thy people of thy holiness have possessed it for a little while. Our adversaries have trodden down thy sanctuary.
Yeah, going what? Back to 70 AD.
Yep.
You know, our enemies trodden down our sanctuary, man. Go ahead.
Verse 19, we are thine, thou never bearest rule over them.
That we are thine, meaning we belong to you. Thou never bearest rule over them. Go ahead.
They were not called by thy name.
They were not called, the 1948ers were not called by thy name, man.
Yep.
Showing you that, hey, the scriptures call this out.
Yep.
These people are not the people.
Yep.
Give me Zechariah 9 and 6. They were never called by the Lord's name, man. And see, this is what the world knows. You know?
It's the book of Zechariah 9 and verse 6, and it reads, and a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod, and I will cut off the pride of the Philistines.
Yeah. A bastard shall dwell in Ashdod.
Yep.
Which a bastard is what? An illegitimate son.
Right.
Meaning they don't belong to the Lord, man.
Yep.
And it said a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod. Ashdod is a city in Jerusalem, if I'm not mistaken, man.
It is.
You know?
Yep.
Showing you that these people, and the prophecies call him out, man.
Yep.
You know, he can't hide himself.
Yep.
You know, you don't think that these 1948ers are hearing these prophecies and going back into the Torah and reading these prophecies?
Yep.
You know, they know what's up, man. You know?
Yep, that's right. And the scriptures get into that. When you go into there's whole chapters in the Bible. I think Ezekiel 36.
Yeah.
Is one that gets into that.
You bring that out.
Yeah. There's whole chapters in the Bible that speak against the wicked, that speak against, you know, the Edomites, and more specifically, the Amalekites.
That's it.
You know, the fake Jews, the 1948ers, the Ish people.
Yep.
All right, here it is. This is Ezekiel 36. I'll start at 1.
Yep.
It says, also thou son of man, prophesy unto the mountains of Israel, and say, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord Yahweh. Thus saith the Lord power, because the enemy have said against you, aha, even the ancient high places are ours in possession.
Break it down, brother.
So, hey, that's what the wicked say now. Because Israel is what? Destroyed. When you read Jeremiah 17:4, it says we were discontinued from our heritage.
Yep.
So in the destruction of Israel, which once again I quoted again, Psalm 83, the nations conspiring to take away the name of Israel, come they say, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more remembered.
Right.
Since Israel, the name of Israel, and the truth of who the Israelites are, is not in the earth, you know, it has not been in the earth until this time that we see now, since it was taken away. Hey, these so-called Jews, start with the scriptures call them the scriptures called it what was that in the border of wickedness? It calls the wicked, but it calls them
Children of pride.
Yeah, children of pride. In Revelation 2, I read it earlier. It goes into the synagogue of Satan. The synagogue of Satan, the chief house, Salakia, of Satan, the wicked ruling elite. Hey, that shows you that these people, they say, hey, we've got them in possession. We've gotten them in possession. The wind out here is wicked.
Yeah.
The wind out here is wicked right now.
The truth coming out.
Hey, Prince of the power of the air. Prince of the power of the air,
That's
right?
right.
Hey,
Trying to blow the camera out of there, man. Too much heat, man.
They said, aha, you know, we've destroyed them.
God.
We got them in derision. You see?
God.
Now we're going to be able to rule forever. That's what it goes back to once again, the birthright.
Exactly.
It says, aha, even the ancient high places are ours in possession, which they parted our land when you read in Job in the 3rd chapter.
That's why, and then just to add on to that real quick,
Yep.
when you go into the history, you know, because somebody put a comment on one of the videos when we was getting on the 1948ers.
Yep.
And they said, well, why do you call them 1948ers?
Yep.
Well, you go into history, 1917 is pretty much when the Balfour Declaration was established.
Yep.
All right, and it created a so-called Jewish state, man. All right, and it says Britain pledged a national home for the Jewish people.
Yep.
You see, when you go into the history, all you got to do is Google it. You know what I'm saying? And it breaks it all down. But what we're reading in Ezekiel 36, this is the establishment of that, man. Fulfilling that prophecy, showing you that the enemies have stolen the Holy Land, you know?
That's right. Ezekiel 36:3, and it reads, therefore prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, because they have made you desolate and swallowed you up on every side, that ye might be a possession unto the residue of the heathen, and ye are taken up in the lips of talkers, and are an infamy of the people.
And then one more other point I want to add, also a part of that Balfour Declaration, all right? Basically, it was a letter from Britain's Foreign Secretary, Arthur Balfour. He addressed to Lionel Walter Rothschild, and it says a figurehead of the so-called British Jewish community.
Yep.
You see?
Yep. That's right. Showing you the Rothschilds today, what their hand has been in, and all these quick, rich, ruling elite families, which they are, you know, among the top of the top.
Yep.
The so-called creme de la creme.
Yep.
The head honchos. Their hand have always been into doing what? Taking the holy lands from the righteous people.
Exactly.
You see, trying to take the actual heritage of the people of the Most High.
Exactly.
By being in the homeland and then professing themselves to be the holy people.
Yeah. So where is the Balfour Declaration? Where is that in the scriptures, man? See, we're reading the prophecies of them still in the land, you know. And where is the prophecy of the so-called Jewish people?
Hold it still. Bear with us, Akim. We ain't going crazy. But like I was saying,
Where is the prophecy of the so-called Jewish people being scattered to the four corners of the earth, man, through slavery, man? You know? Where's the prophecy of the so-called Jew being raised up in the last days with the 12 tribe sign,
right,
and prophesied on the four corners of the earth?
Yep.
You know, if these people are supposed to be the people of God.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. Where are they at?
Where are they at?
Yep. Why aren't they fulfilling prophecy?
Thank you.
Because that shows you, that when you read the scriptures, the Most High has set everything in order in its time and its place. So that prophecy only fulfills the true Israelites.
That's right.
You know, which are, once again, the brothers that's waking up on the four corners of earth, making their call of election sure.
All right, quick precept.
That's the house of David. You got it?
Before you finish that.
Oh, no, you good.
Real quick.
Yep.
Jeremiah 16:19. And it reads, O Lord, Yahweh Shem El Shah, my strength, and my fortress, and my refuge in the day of affliction. The Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies,
Yep.
vanity, and things wherein there is no profit.
Yep.
See? So that's what these people are finding out, man. You know, you even had people that come from the so-called Jew admit
Yep.
that they don't that they're not the Israelites,
Yep.
man. So we're in that time where these heathen are starting to admit that surely our fathers have inherited lies, man.
Yep.
The scriptures also tell you in Deuteronomy, I believe it's 33, where it says that our enemies shall be found as liars, man.
Yep.
You see? Can't stop prophecy, man. You finish it out.
Yep. Scriptures also speak about how their tongues were going to fall upon themselves.
Exactly.
You see, there's going to be a witness against them.
Beautiful.
Ezekiel 36:5, therefore, it says, thus saith the Lord power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen and against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession.
So all Idumea,
Yep.
which is Greek for Esau, Edom, it said all Idumea have appointed the Holy Land into their possession.
Yep.
And we just read how they did that. They used the Balfour Declaration, which was established in 1917, and then you had the creation of the so-called Jewish state in 1948. So that's the prophecy being fulfilled, man. Showing you that those are Idumeans, which are Edomites, that are in the Holy Land right now, that are going around the earth calling themselves Jews or Israelis.
Yep. That's right. It says, and have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. Verse 6, prophesy therefore concerning the land of Israel, and say unto the mountains, and to the hills, to the rivers, and to the valleys, thus saith the Lord Yahweh thy power, behold, I have spoken in my jealousy and in my fury, because ye have borne the shame of the heathen.
Right, and what's so heavy about this, that's why there's so much drama going on in the land of Israel.
Yep.
Because you got Amalek, and you got Ishmael in the land, and you got Ham in there too, and none of those niggas belong in the land.
That's right.
So now you see the Lord is stirring up war, you know, in the midst of that land, because that land is getting ready to be taken out, man.
Yep.
You see?
And in that land, with all those different nations being there, you also have all these nations building their own shrines and temples.
Exactly.
And making sacrifices to their gods. So what you think Yahweh Shemi Yahushua gonna do for first taking his people's land and giving it to another, and then for making sacrifices and abominable sacrifices unto other gods who are no gods in that land.
Yep.
The Most High gonna smoke that place.
Yep.
That place gonna be destroyed like Babylon.
That's it.
You see?
Quick precept.
Yep.
It's Isaiah chapter 1 verse 7. And it reads, if we gotta move, we can move too. I mean,
Yeah, we get close.
okay, con.
We're about an hour in.
That wind is going crazy. But yeah, this is Isaiah chapter 1 verse 7, and it reads, your country is desolate. Your country is desolate. Your cities are burned with fire. Your land, strangers devour it in your presence, and it is desolate as overthrown by strangers.
Yep, hey, it's desolate and it's overthrown by strangers. You know, the wicked, the heathen are in our lands. Once again, hey, doing abominable sacrifices, doing abominable works. You know, you got Pink City that goes on over in Israel every year. You know,
they're the only land in the Middle East that celebrates gay pride.
See, showing you that and we know that that's at the epitome of pride. You know, the pride of the wicked, which he is the epitome of pride, the children of pride, which is the wicked. That's him. You know, trying to basically stick his middle finger up at the Most High. That's basically him saying, you know, hey, that the Most High ain't real, that he's against. He's the anti-everything, anti-life, anti-Messiah, and you know, anti-people of the God. He's against everything that's righteous. So that's him showing forth, along with the rest of the heathen, showing that these prophecies have come to pass.
That's right.
And we're in the last of the end time prophecies. So these things are coming to pass. You know, the heathen are in our land, and it also tells you that we would die in a polluted land.
That's right.
You see? So now we've been taken out of our land and put in another land where our people are dying mercilessly daily in the streets. You see? So all the prophecies show forth that the heathen start with Amalek, you know, that they are the chief house of the wicked. That's right. And that they will be in our land. You know, they will take it for their possession. You see? And the scriptures say, with all joyfulness of their heart, acting and parading around, masquerading around like they truly the people, and setting up, you know, strongholds from that land. Go ahead, you got it.
Yep. Just another point, just to add on to what the brother was saying. It says the same thing in Ezekiel 35. This is Ezekiel 35, and really, I can start at the top.
Yeah, that's a beautiful chapter.
Yeah, start at the top.
Yeah, going against Mount Seir.
This is Ezekiel 35, verse 1, and it reads, it says, moreover, The word of the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir.
Yep, that's the Edomites, the homeland of the Edomites, which today, the headquarters of that is right here in America, in the good old US of A, people call it. See?
And prophesy against it.
Prophesy against Babylon. Prophesy against America. Prophesy against the daughter of Babylon.
Yep.
Prophesy against the wicked. Prophesy against the Edomites.
All the descendants of the Edomites.
Yep.
Verse 3 says, And say unto them, Thus saith the Lord power, Behold, Mount Seir, I am against thee.
The Most High is against the Edomites. Go ahead.
And I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. I will lay thy cities waste.
So all the cities in America are going to be laid waste. All these cities. You see? Go ahead.
And I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai.
And the Lord is known by the judgment which he execute. That's how you going to know that this truly was the will of Yahweh Shemel Shai. You got it?
Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred.
See, because the Edomites have had a perpetual, continual hatred, going back to what we was reading in the book of Exodus, because you've had a perpetual hatred going back, starting really in the garden, but we was bringing out the fact that in Exodus, the Amalek, that perpetual hatred that they have for who? For the children of Israel, the righteous people. Go ahead.
And have shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee, since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee.
See, so since the wicked, since Esau, Edom, you know, since they have a thirst for blood, which goes back to the fact that they've been given the blessing of the sword, meaning to kill. They are that red horse in Revelation, the 6th chapter.
That's right.
So they've been given that power and given that lot. Blood is going to pursue them.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee.
Yep.
Thus I will make Mount Seir most desolate.
Yep.
And cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth.
Yep.
And I will fill his mountains with his slain men, in thy hills and in thy valleys, and all thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword.
Yep.
And I will make thee perpetual desolations, and thy cities shall not return, and ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh Shemel
And you
Shai.
shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai when I have accomplished this thing.
That's right.
Meaning all the prophecy is going to be fulfilled. So this prophecy is going to be fulfilled after the fall of Babylon. You know, after this economy falls, the mark of the beast is made mandatory. All hell is on the earth. Then the missiles come. The elect get saved. Hey, you're going to see this prophecy come to pass.
That's right.
It's not going to be nothing but dead people here, dead bodies. You see, burned up to a crisp. So the Lord's going to accomplish that. Because he said his word will not come back unto him void, right?
Yep, you got it. Verse 10.
Yep.
Because thou hast said, these two nations and these two countries shall be mine.
He said these two nations and these two countries shall be mine, if I'm not mistaken. Is that going to the northern and southern kingdom? See, so these two nations, you know, the two witnesses in Revelation 11 chapter, they are going to be mine. Meaning they are going to be, they've imagined that they're going to be able to chip all the people of the Most High and actually take over ownership by putting that image, that mark, you know, inside of all the people of the Most High and all people in general, but most importantly, God's people, to offset the prophecy that will show forth that the Lord was going to return and deliver his people.
Absolutely.
So they believe that, hey, the northern and southern kingdom, they're going to take for their possession.
Yep.
That they're going to actually be able to accomplish that.
Yep. And
they believe
took the
that.
land. They took the land.
Yep.
You know, that going back to what we read in Ezekiel 36.
Yep.
Where it said the enemy said, aha.
Yep.
Even the ancient high places are ours in our possession.
Yep.
And who was that taken by? The Idumeans.
That's right.
The Edomites.
Yep.
Verse 11, hold Jeremiah 49 and 17.
Gotcha. I was just thinking about Jeremiah 49.
Ezekiel 35 and 11, therefore as I live, saith the Lord power, I will do according to thy anger and according to thy envy which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them, and I will make myself known among them when I have judged thee. You see?
Yep.
And we're in those times, man.
Yep.
The Lord is raising up the true Israel, man, the elect. All right? And that's why, hey, as you see, all of this shit is going on in the earth, man. So while people are caught up in these distractions, you know, they're telling you that America's back, you know, They reopened America. You ain't got to wear a mask no more.
Right.
So while all these people in America are caught up with that shit, look what's going on the other side of the world, man.
Yep.
You know?
That's right. Jeremiah 49 and verse 17. And it reads, also Edom shall be a desolation. Every one that goeth by it shall be astonished and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof.
Yeah, because the Lord is going to jack this place up.
Yep.
Keep reading.
Yep. Continuing on. Verse 18. As in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighboring cities thereof, saith the Lord Yahweh, no man shall abide there, neither shall a son of man dwell in it. Behold, he shall come up like a lion from the swelling of Jordan against the habitation of the strong, but I will suddenly make him run away from her. And who is chosen, and who is a chosen man, that I may appoint over her? For who is like me, and who will appoint me the time?
Yep.
And who is that shepherd that shall stand before me?
Go ahead.
Therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord Yahweh, that he taketh up against Edom, and his purposes, that he have purpose against the inhabitants of Teman.
Yep.
Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them.
Now, so the scripture says, surely shall the least of the flock draw them out. And what's going to happen? These Amalekites are going to draw America into World War III.
Yep.
And this is actually happening as we speak.
Yep.
You see all the bombings that's going on in Israel with Israel and Hamas.
Yep.
You know, all this stuff is leading into World War III, man.
Yep.
You know that Israel and Iran had serious beef, so to speak.
Yep.
And we know that Iran is allies with Russia.
Yep.
So therefore, hey, you mess with Russia, you mess with Iran, Russia's going to get involved.
That's right.
So therefore, that's how it's all being set up.
Yep.
So this prophecy is actually being played out right before our eyes, you know?
Yep. Which goes into Ezekiel 38.
Yep.
Which Russia is going to be that guard unto these nations.
Exactly.
Showing you that Russia is big brother to these nations.
Gone. So, in actuality, America and Israel is going to get destroyed.
That's right.
You know?
Verse 21.
Read down 22.
The earth is moved at the noise of their fall, at the cry the noise thereof was heard in the Red Sea.
Right, so they said the earth is moved at the noise of their fall, going back to what? That nuclear destruction.
Yep.
You know? Keep going.
Verse 22, behold, he shall come up and fly as the eagle and spread his wings over Basra. And at that day shall the heart of the mighty men of Edom be as the heart of a woman in her pain.
There you go. So Edom is going to be totally destroyed.
That's right.